Hello there, welcome to the garden. It is a dark and rainy day here. We actually have a lot of rain coming this week, which will be good. It'll be good for the garden, it'll be good for all the containers. There's not really much to do out here anyways, but I'm really trying to get out in the garden every day, just to be out here to check on the greenhouse, make sure that the fish are doing well in there. They seem to be super happy, and making sure that, you know, all little seedlings are coming up. I'm gonna go out there and check and see if we have anything other than the bachelor buttons starting to sprout in our like January sowing in the unheated greenhouse, because so far we've got bachelor buttons sprouting. So that's giving me tons of hope for like the strawberries and all the other things that we sowed in there. So we'll go check on that. I also did do what I said I kind of wasn't, well, to myself, I kind of said I was like done seed shopping. And it was a rainy day and I was sitting inside looking at the garden, and I did get a couple more things. I put in a couple orders. I'm really excited about both of these things though. So the two things that I ordered are peanuts. I found these black peanuts, and they're like seed peanuts from Baker Creek, and you know, Baker Creek has free shipping inside the US, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do it. I put in an order and ordered these black peanuts. I'll try to put a picture up here for you. Super cool. Peanuts are a really interesting one, and I'm going to try to grow them in a container, probably in a grow bag. I'm thinking I'm gonna do some carrots in a grow bag like in the early spring, and then I'm thinking, you know, hopefully the carrot will be ready to harvest, carrots will be ready to harvest, and then I can pull those out and plant in peanuts. So we had a big airplane go overhead. So anyways, I got the peanuts and I'm hoping to plant them like early summer, like early June. I'm thinking I've got to look at really how many days to harvest they are, but that should be really good. And then I ordered lotus seeds. So I have my one container pond, and then I have another pot that's basically just a pot without a drain hole, and I put one of those little solar fountains in it last year. I really liked having that like second water feature. I didn't grow any plants in it last summer, but I'm thinking that this summer it'd be really fun to try to do a lotus in it. And depending on how the water lily that I have in my regular container pond does, I'm trying to winter it over, and I think it should winter over, but I'm just not entirely sure. It may not. If that one doesn't winter over, I can put another lotus in the container pond itself. So I am really new to this. This is going to be quite an adventure, growing lotus flowers from seed. I will do more videos about the lotus, and so if they grow well, I will link where I got them. I just don't want to link it yet because I don't know. I've ordered a few plants from Etsy. I actually ordered the hornwort that I have, the water plants that I have in my container pond last year from Etsy, and they a great little Etsy seller, and they have been wonderful plants. So you know, I feel like the lotus should be good. It has lots of good reviews. So that's going to be a really interesting process. I'm really excited to see how it goes. And I just couldn't resist. I love kind of those strange seeds. I love an experiment. I love a garden experiment. So I went ahead and I ordered them. So I said I was not going to order any more seeds, and here I am, and definitely ordering more. I don't think I have much else on my list, honestly. I think I have most of the seeds I need for the garden, and we're actually getting close, I realized, to 12 weeks out from our last frost, which for like my coleus and my petunias, that's about when I need to start those. So I'm thinking about, I may push it 2 weeks back. I've talked a little bit about how I want to push everything later. So I'm debating that right now. We'll see if I can stay patient and wait for another two-ish weeks, I guess, and try to start those probably early February. It's going to be my goal for starting petunias and coleus. But we're getting close to all that. I just couldn't believe that we were already at 12 weeks out from the last frost. This winter, I don't know, this winter is flying by. So anyways, let's go over to the greenhouse. On a rainy day, even a little unheated greenhouse is the perfect spot to kind of hang out. Let's see if the fish will come out. And okay, good. We are over 65 degrees in here, so that is great. And I think that this little container pond being in here has really helped with keeping the heat really good. I have been watering in here quite a bit, just about every day, every other day. So that has been really important, obviously, for the seedlings and everything, just to make sure that everything is staying the right, amount of moisture. But yeah, that container pond in there, because the water stores up all the heat from the sun during the day, I think it's been really helping to keep it warmer in there, because we did get cold, not last night, but the night before. We've been getting, I'm gonna move out of the rain for a second. We've been getting nights in like 28 degrees Fahrenheit, and the container pond has been not freezing, so it's telling me it's not freezing in there, and it's actually been keeping it, like, every time I go into that unheated greenhouse, it's just over 60 degrees Fahrenheit, so I think that's great. Okay, let's see if anything else. A little pause for the sound of the rain on the roof. Last year I actually put a chair in here, and I would come out, and like on rainy, cold days, I would just sit out here and enjoy it. Even a tiny little greenhouse, you can totally do that. Okay, let's see if anything else sprouted. All right, so you can still see the bachelor buttons are coming up. They are sprouting. I don't think anything else is. Not to worry though. I am not worried at all. So I am not concerned. I am not bothered that things are not sprouting out here yet. If I had them inside under grow lights, would things be sprouting right now? Probably, absolutely, because they would have all that warmth and the sunlight and everything. But because we're out, it's a little bit cooler, temperatures, it's 60 out here, it's not 80. It's gonna take a little bit longer, kind of like with winter sowing. The seeds sort of wake up naturally on their own sort of time, just like they would if you had sown them in the fall outside, or they had fallen from the plant, at the end of the season. So not to worry, but thank goodness for the bachelor buttons, because that's definitely making me super happy. Hey there. So it's actually a couple days later, and another rainy day. I think we're gonna have some real rain picking up here any minute, but I can't stop planting. I'm trying to hold off still on the coleus and petunias. I haven't planted them yet, but I thought I would plant some watercress, and I feel like I have the perfect spot for it. So right now I've got my little container pond in the unheated greenhouse, just to give it like a little warm space where the fishes will be happy and everything. And I actually put this container with violas in there, but there's a little room, and I think it'd be perfect for watercress. So I just threw some fish food in here to see if I could get them to come out. They're very shy, and they all hide in there. But, oh, they can little see one of the goldfish. There's a few goldfish and some ruby red minnows in the container pond right now. And as you can see, I have this pot in here to kind of create like a bog plant situation. It helps to filter the water. The plant soaks up some of the nutrients. I'm testing out using a terracotta pot like this to do it. Last season, I used like a water pot, I don't know, aqua pot. I had like all these little holes so that the roots could really get the water. The only issue with it was like it was this green plastic, and it just wasn't that pretty. So I'm trying to see if the terracotta pot will work in a similar way. And obviously still it's a porous material, so the water's still getting through. Less of the plant roots get into the water. So I'm just kind of testing it out, and as I said, trying to see. I do have a lily pad in there and the hornwort as well, so other things that are putting oxygen back into the water and also soaking up some of the nutrients and helping with keeping the water clear because there's a fish in there. And then I've been changing out the water probably like once a month, right, somewhere around there. Anyways, in this terracotta pot, the soil stays very, very wet because obviously there's still an interplay of water coming through the sides of the terracotta pot. And the thing about like bog style plants is that they need to have those really wet roots. They like to have really wet feet, but they need to be above the water a little bit. And that's why I kind of switched over to the terracotta pot, because any container I have in there is still going to need to be popping up above the surface of the water. So I just like the look of the container, the terracotta container better for that. but it's a perfect climate for watercress. So I have kind of just replicated this situation in the past where I've grown watercress in containers and basically set a terracotta pot just like in a low bowl of water or something like that. So that's another way that you can do it. But I figured since I have this situation going in the container pond anyways, I could just sprinkle a few seeds in there. The violas are actually seeming to survive even with the super wet feet. I wasn't quite sure how they would do, but you can see they're thriving. They seem to be doing really well and they're still flowering, but there's a little bit of open soil there. And so that's where I'm just gonna seed a little bit of watercress so that we have, you know, a couple things growing in there. My daughter is out here with us watching the fish. There's actually quite a few fish in there, but they're all just hiding. I do have underneath the surface of the water, you can see it, I do have a cinder block, and that has like a little space inside where the fish can hide, and that's also what the terracotta pot rests on. So that is how that works. And I got the little fountain, but it's not going off right now because it's very cloudy out today and rainy, as I was saying earlier. So as I said, watercress is a super small seed. I just surface sow it, and I'm just gonna sprinkle a few so that they can kind of grow in and around the violas and sort of add to that container, fill in that space. And watercress is also more of a cool weather crop. They say to sow in late winter or mid-spring and harvest before hot weather. That's what's recommended on the back. I've used several different varieties from different seed companies. They've all done really well for me, but they've got like a pungent peppery flavor is the description. And I would say that if you've never had watercress, it's good like in a salad, like as a little added kind of thing. And let's see, it's also really, grows really well in containers. I did actually grow some in my green stock, which didn't have the same like wet feet bog environment, and it did pretty well in there too. So I think it's kind of versatile, but it definitely likes to have a lot of watercress. I think it's one of those plants that, you know, originally grew along a riverbed or something like that. So I'm just going to open up the greenhouse, put down the camera here for a second, and get these seeded. All right, I've got it all nice and zipped up. I've been keeping a close eye, making sure I don't need to water in there. We have a bunch of the seedlings that are started in there, but they're all doing well. It's been cloudy the last couple days, so haven't been having too much of an issue with things drying out too quickly, which has been nice. But it is starting to rain a bit harder now, so I am going to run inside. Try not to do any more seed shopping, although you never know, on a rainy day it can definitely be tempting. Thank you so much as always for watching this video, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye bye.